The sky, boy.
Wrestling is trash. Wrestling is trash.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Wrestling is Trash, nonsensical podcast where we talk everything professional wrestling, past, present, and quite possibly the future. I, one of your co-hosts of Wrestling is Trash, Nick Anicelli, coming to you live on this beautiful Forbidden Door Sunday. Very amped to talk about everything professional wrestling. I'm going to go on a quick little rant. We've been on a little hiatus, not for any bad reasons, work schedules, and it's summertime. It's summertime, and Lou's been very active. I've been very active. We've been busy, and we don't want to half-ass shit. And to be honest, wrestling's been good, don't get me wrong, but nothing that it's like we need to get on and talk about this right now. But we had to come today with this great show coming up and a couple of other things to report. My Boston Celtics, NBA champs, baby. Yeah. Hey, but Lou, as we know, he a Knicks fan, and they making some moves. So as I pass it off to introduce Lou, tell everyone how you doing, how you feeling about these Knicks before we get into wrestling.
Well, that's a loaded question. But listen, I was very proud of my team, as we stated before. Very happy for how far they got, even though their team was basically depleted with injuries. But I looked this morning and I saw a tweet from the NBA because they put out the power rankings. They put the NBA power rankings out. And number one is the Boston Celtics. And number two, in that orange color, it is blurry, but that logo is unmistakable that it's the New York Knicks are rated number 2 in the NBA power rankings. That's fucking insane. So listen, I try not to fall for the hype. Try to wait for the season to start. It's going to be a long couple of months because the damn season don't start till October, damn near.
Yeah.
And the real season doesn't start until December because they really don't start playing really hard until then. But I'm happy. It's always good to be competitive, and even if you're not winning championships like the Celtics, which congratulations again to you and your team. I don't know the feeling, so at least basketball wise, I don't know that feeling. So hopefully one day in my lifetime, I will.
They're creeping up on it, man. But yeah,
we'll see.
We've been hanging in there, both trying to stay active as much as we can. But
yeah, we this summer, again, we do this show because we like to do the show. We're not doing this show because we have to do the show, and we're gonna miss episodes here and there because life happens. But the summer, we wanted to actually enjoy the summer. So I'm working, niggas working, and besides that, we got other shit we're doing, bro. We're kind of moving around, and we suggest that to all of you. Get out there and enjoy the world. Be and have fun and go do the things, all the things, go do them all, because that's what we've been trying to do. Unfortunately, I've been stuck in the house all day because it's been boring, but that's okay because I ain't planning on going nowhere because we got a show tonight. So yes. But again, apologies to all of you who were patiently waiting for us to drop a new episode. We kind of just abruptly left you. We probably could have done a better job warning you all that we're going to take a couple weeks off, but a little bit of unexpectedness, and then we just kind of went with the flow. So we're back now, though, and we're here to talk about some shit.
Yeah, and Lou, as we've kind of mentioned, we have like a shared note, and Lou dropped a bunch of good shit here today, but nothing crazy right away. We just want to give a quick, shout out and thoughts and prayers with the Hawaii family. This past week, the wrestling world, we lost Sika, otherwise known as the father of Roman Reigns. Obviously we all know the Samoan dynasty and history in wrestling is huge. And as Lou and I were saying offline a little before our time, but there's been tribute videos. They obviously, him and his brother, obviously left a lasting image in the world of professional wrestling and giving back still to this day with the children of the bloodline being everywhere. Just want to say quick thoughts and prayers to the Anoa'i family during this, tragic time for their family.
Yeah, again, I'm a little older than Nick, just a little bit, but even with that, like, I feel like, Sika, when they were like the head shrinkers, I was kind of in that timeline where I was watching, but I don't really have a lot of memories of them to go off of. So, but am familiar with their game and their presence and their just what he's contributed to the business, whether just as characters or just as toughness of people and just the many extended family members that they just have. It's just, you got to respect it. You got to show love and appreciation for your elders and for the people who came before you. So I just thought I'd throw that in there just because we wanted to show respect and say, rest in peace and love and respect to the Anoa'i family, to Roman Reigns and his family. It's a difficult time, so just kind of wanted to show respect.
Absolutely. That's what we do. But speaking of families, the transition from that, now really start diving into the show. Another historic family in the wrestling world, the Harts. The streets are saying Nattie could possibly be moving on from WWE or a free agent. She took WWE off her bio on Twitter, which not always means everything or something. But Lou, let's just play hypothetical. Say she's leaving, right? Because she could resign. It's as simple as that. But say she doesn't. What do you want to see her next move be?
So a couple of things with Nattie. Apparently, she never had WWE in her bio, nor has she had WWE in her bio since like 2016.
See how much I pay attention.
So, because I did see that, and I was going to post a different picture that had that information in it, and then as I started going through stuff, it was like somebody posted a picture from 2016 where she just had like heart with a little black emoji heart or whatever, and I was like, oh, she never really had it in her bio. But regardless, the fact of the matter is that apparently her contract is either up or coming up, so she may be moving on. She may want to do other things, which I'm always open to that. And honestly, this kind of harkens back to one of the conversations we've had before where it's like, would you rather be a champion in a lesser company, or would you rather be a mid-carder in a bigger company? And as I think about Nattie, I think the perfect spot for her would be to go to Impact. If she can go to Impact and freaking get in there and have some great matches with Jordan Grace and that whole roster of knockouts that they have, that's definitely, you got to put the championship on Nattie. She's just, all these years she's been in WWE, man, she's been that person who, when they have a 3-way or a 4-way match, or whenever there's like a women's Royal Rumble or something of that nature, they got to have Nattie in there, because she is literally like the director of traffic. She's like the coach, and she just tries to make the match as good as possible with what she, who she's working with and what she has. So to see her kind of be able to go out on her own now and just show what she can do, I'm sure it's exciting for her. Because again, everybody immediately starts with the AEW, but if she goes there, really, what is she gonna win there? She's not gonna get the world title right now. I'm sure that they have this Toni Storm and Mariah May thing is kind of like taking over the world title scene, and Mercedes right now is probably going to be a double champ after tonight. Yeah. We'll get into that later. Yeah. But Nattie's not going to win a title there. So probably the best move for her, for me, is to go to Impact.
Yeah, no, I agree. You pretty much said everything I wanted to say on it. And to my understanding, TNA has like one of the best, obviously pay and all that shit's different, but they have like a very good schedule because they do a bunch of recordings at once. So that, like, we can't forget, not that she's old, but she is older. She's been on the main roster, traveling the road since like 2010. So after like 14 years, you know what I mean? She might just want to chill for a little bit.
Right.
And the cool thing I like about this one is, you know, their WWE, that is obviously offering her somewhat of a contract between her husband being there and obviously the Hart family. So she could stay there as long as she wants. So if she doesn't stay, it's because she didn't want to stay. And I think that's what's kind of cool about all this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, hey, well, we don't want to renew your contract, you know? So I think that would be cool, because that's how you know she's gambling on herself, which is cool. You always like to see people take that risk at the end of the day. You know, between her and her husband, they've probably done well enough financially, right? Where they're probably good for a while or for life, where it's like, F it, you know, I'll go take the pay cut and, you know, show my worth somewhere, you know what I mean, what she can really do. So
yeah,
I think that was cool. And, you know, I think, and now with this working relationship TNA and WWE has, like, maybe something would come from that.
Wouldn't that be some shit? That's the funny shit about this, is like, somebody was mentioning, which I didn't put it in here, but I probably should have. We could just transition right into Dijak. Wouldn't it be funny if Dijak goes to Impact and then ends up back on NXT?
Yeah.
because they're doing this joint thing, so he goes to Impact and he ends right back up at NXT. That'd be some fucking.
Did you end up watching the NXT Battleground in Vegas?
And I don't think so.
So Jordan Grace and Roxanne had a really good match. But in the match, so Tatum Paxley, is like obsessed with the NXT or the Impact, but she stole in the match Jordan's title and was trying to run backstage, and Dana Brooke, or Ash by Elegance, came out.
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't watch the show, but I saw it online.
So she came out, so that's why I said that. But
she popped up she came out to like zero pop whatsoever. Like nobody even.
Yeah, you know, the only thing I didn't like about Dijak announcing he was leaving is I'm a big fan of Dijak. Biased because he's from the Boston area, so I'm always biased to those people who are from where I'm from. And then, like, he's just really talented. Like, he's very talented. And it sucks because, you know, AEW or TNA is going to pick him up, whether it's on a one-off deal or sign him, right? Like, he's going to one of them. Like, it's obvious. And especially if he ends up making an appearance tonight, like he potentially alluded to. Like, why did you announce that WWE didn't re-sign you? Like, you know how cool that really would have been if tonight he did show up?
I mean, yeah, I can understand that. We were talking offline.
He wants to make money with all these indie bookings as well.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's the big part of it there. He wants to let everyone else know that he's available for bookings, whether it's Rev Pro or GCW or all these other promotions that he can make money from. So that I'm sure is part of it. He wants to get out there and show what he can do. Which is, if you've ever seen any of the matches he's had with Keith Lee over multiple promotions, you would know he's more than that stupid fucking Retribution mask. So that's a guy that you can get behind, and I'm happy for him. I'm hoping to see him pop up somewhere. Maybe tonight he'll show up somewhere. That'd be cool. You know, Forbidden Door, supposedly they're teasing multiple surprises, but we'll talk about that later. And I just what I'm not a fan of, which we were talking about offline, was him teasing today about, oh, let me walk through this door. Maybe I'll take a drive to, like, dog. To me, when people do that, it's like, number one, they're trying to get the company to call them or whatever, which I guess, you know, shoot your shot or whatever. But
yeah,
leave the surprise. Like, and again, Twitter's not a real place. It's not like there's the majority of people who are going to be watching Forbidden Door are not on Twitter. So it really doesn't matter. But to me, like, if I'm on Twitter and I'm seeing him teasing that, oh, I'm going to, maybe I'll show up. It's like, no, bro, just, if you're going to show up, show up. Yeah. That's the dope shit about it. Like the surprise, not like the tease. So that's the one thing I'm not a fan of.
So let me ask you. If you just left WWE, like you didn't re-sign, like he didn't, and Ricochet, right? Because I don't think we've talked about Ricochet since either.
At all. Yeah.
So now, obviously, everyone's already alluding Ricochet is going to go to AEW and go with Will Ospreay. Now, let me ask you, if you were a Ricochet, who can get signed any day of the week by an AEW, TNA, New Japan, whoever, right? Like, just like a Dijak, you're good enough that you could work at another company the following week. If you were Ricochet, and I use him here for an example because it's only a matter of time till he's on AEW television, right? Would you consider, just because you've been under a booking company for so long, right? Like someone at the end of the day made your decisions. Like, yeah, you might have had influence, especially towards the end with Triple H, maybe. Would you maybe just do the all-in match, say with Ospreay, which everyone seems that's what it's alluding to? Could be wrong, right? Because it also looks like it could be Ospreay and MJF as well. But say that's what Tony presents you with. You're Ricochet, Tony Khan presents you with, hey, dude, we want to have you come in, sign a multi-year contract right off the bat, you and Ospreay at All In. Would you consider being like, hey, like I'll do a short-term deal to All In, but then just go work the indies for a while, make the money on the indies and not have that, I guess, stress over you of how am I going to be booked? Like, do you think that's a bad idea?
Nah, and I mean, it all depends on obviously it all depends on how he was, like, he felt like, I mean, it's a lot of factors. It's like, what does the guy want in the end? It's kind of like a big question because does he feel like he's going to go, let's say he goes to AEW, does he feel like he's going to get pushed properly there? Is he going to get pushed into the world title picture? AEW to me doesn't seem like that type of company that they just bring people in and throw them into the world title picture, at least from my experience and watching. I could be wrong about that. I could just be looking through whatever kind of rose-colored glasses. But as far as I remember, they don't just bring everybody in and throw them into title pictures. They involve them in different kind of storylines. So is Ricochet going to come in and immediately be like in the world title picture? I'm not sure about that. And I'm not saying he's not talented. And I wouldn't like to see him at least somewhat involved in it. But I don't think that Tony's going to bring him in and throw him exactly on there. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. And you alluded to it the best, and this isn't a shot at Ricochet. We love Ricochet on this show. I think we talked for a while about him getting more. And so that's why I say this isn't a shot. But and Triple H even said on Pat McAfee's show the other week, like, we have a hell of a ring announcer. Like Samantha, his fiance or wife now, I don't know, but at least fiance, she's more of an asset than he is. And you said it the best. Like, you're the one who said it to me or in our group chat, which is true. Like, they don't need Ricochet. I wish he would have stayed. And the thing is, you got to think I don't think with him it's money. Because did you see the report that, like, WWE's minimum salary is like $350,000 a year? So you got to think Ricochet's making at least probably $500. At minimum, at absolute minimum $500, right? Because he was always in the IC title scene or in. He's the guy's upper mid card talent. Like, he was on maybe every other pay-per-view or whatever. So it's like money, and I think at the end of the day, everything comes down to finances. Like, one, if he needs the money, which between the two of them, they're probably doing well, or fuck it, I want to go get the bag. Because there's that other report that Wrestling Observer put out that AEW spent like $104 million on talent salary. That's a lot.
It's a lot of fucking money, man. God damn.
Hey, Tony, give like $1 million our way.
Damn, bro. Can you give a donation to Wrestling is Trash, though? Help us grow our channel for the love of God.
You donate $500K to this show. I promise you that will be the only thing we talk about. We will be worse than the Twitter marks.
Well, this will be the fucking AEW show.
Yeah, we will name this WWE is Trash.
Yeah, there you go.
Just to get that, but
fuck yeah.
I don't know, man. And then it kind of rolls into the next one, and I kind of want you to speak on this more because I know I'm a fan, but I know. What do you think with Penta?
I'm terrified that he's gonna leave because I love, bro. So I got the, last time we talked, we were talking about that AEW Fight Forever game was free on PlayStation Plus. So I downloaded it finally. I started playing it, and I started the Road to the Elite, and I picked Penta as the character that I was going to use because I like his moveset. Yeah. And it's like his moveset is fucking awesome in that game. First of all, that game is really fucking fun. Yeah, I know a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people had issues with it, with the content when it released and stuff like that. I got the game for free because I got it on PS Plus. So for me, I think it's awesome. The mechanics of it, the grappling system, I like it a lot. It's fun. Does it have problems? Of course it has problems, but I think it's fun as shit.
Yeah,
but
I liked it.
Regardless, playing with Penta is a lot of fun. And Penta's one of my favorite people in AEW. Like I want him to get a full singles push so bad, and for whatever reason, he hasn't gotten it. It's, Death Triangle, Lucha Brothers, and then he gets a little bit of some singles as action, but like he never really has gotten the full push where they put a title on him. And it's like, it's a shame because Penta is super fucking talented. That's a dude that you could completely get behind as your world champion, as your international champion, as your TNT champion, whatever. You could put any belt on him, and I think he would do very well. So I'm a little scared that he's gonna go to WWE just because
LW up.
Yeah, like look at some of these people who've left. I mean, unless your name's Cody Rhodes, you know what I'm saying? You're going to WWE, and you're, between him and Jade Cargill, they've really gotten the most like juice out of the moves.
Now,
because look at Andrade, bro.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Andrade's in Money in the Bank this week, but
yeah,
they're doing now. Granted, it's been a month, so I'm siding with you on this. But Ethan Page has been kind of presented pretty well in NXT.
You got some guys here who are like, again, I'm not watching NXT. I did see that Ethan Page is on there, and I'm happy for him. That's great. You know what I mean? But I just feel like somebody like Penta, his moveset is going to get completely like, he's going to get nerfed, for lack of a better word, for his moveset. And I just don't feel like they're going to, I don't know. I mean, I could be completely wrong. I'm not a booker, obviously. And for the most part, when they bring people in, they have an idea of what they want to do with them, unless you're Odyssey Jones or what's another good example? Somebody who they just kind of brought in and they got lost in the shuffle. I can't think of off the top of my head. Besides Odyssey, they called him up and they just disappeared. It was the same shit with Dijak. Dijak had an NXT match. He started getting a push. He started getting he had a good freaking match on the pay-per-view. And then all of a sudden they killed that feud because they called him up, and then they called him up and did nothing. And then now he's gone. Yeah. So it's like,
I'm with you with Penta. Like, I feel you could give them all this footage and they would still be like, well, what do we do with him? And it's like, nothing. Let him be him. And it's weird because so far Shawn Michaels has done decent with it, but it depends because look at like Brian Pillman Jr., now Lexis King. Like, that was a big switch, but that worked for him. Like, what would you do with Penta? Like, I can't see you. Like, see, Lexis King, I could see it. Like, I can't see Penta doing anything but what he does now. Because he's good, and we like him. So it's weird. It's like, I'm kind of with you, but so at the end of the day,
I don't need to see Penta in NXT. I mean, it would be cool because he'd be able to have the matches that I'd like to see him have. You know what I mean? He's gonna go out there and have crazy matches on NXT with some people. But I just, and again, obviously he would make a lot of money going to WWE. It'd be a whole different thing. He'd have a lot more eyes on him. So it's good. It'd be great for him because he's going to get exposure on a much higher level. WWE's worldwide and all that. So this is just one of those guys that I'm like, if I'm Tony Khan, I'm like, you can't let this guy leave. Like, if I'm Tony Khan, I'm like, listen, what can I do to keep you here? Because this is one dude who I do not want to lose. Like, I just don't.
Yeah, I feel, because we already know Ricky Starks is leaving. I feel that's very obvious.
Where the fuck is he anyway? Supposedly there's isn't there a wild card in the Owen Hart tournament? Yeah. Did they reveal who that is yet or no? Or
no,
still,
but a lot of people
because they're wrestling Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, a lot of people thought it was going to be Hangman, but now last night we had the Hangman vignette. Yeah. So it's like, it doesn't seem like it'll be him. So I don't know, but did you see
it's somebody with Jeff Jarrett? So
did you see the report about him feuding with Big Bill?
Who? Hangman?
No, Ricky Starks.
Oh, Ricky. Yeah, so maybe we should talk about that too. We can kind of segue into that.
What I kind of gathered from it at the end of the day, I go off what Sean Ross Sapp said at the end. What it ultimately boiled down to, because obviously everyone made it a bigger deal, right? That's just wrestling fans. It seemed like what I gathered at the end of the day was the reason him and they just kind of broke up was because they wanted to do a feud, like most, right? Most tag teams break up, they feud, and Ricky was going to go over, and he didn't think that was good for Big Bill, right? Is that what you kind of saw?
No. What I saw was a bunch of rumors and innuendo, which I'm going to bring it up here. But again, this is not like anything that's been confirmed to be real or anything of that nature. This is just something I saw. So supposedly Ricky was in like Edmonton or something at a bar, and he got hammered and he got into a bar fight, and there was arrests and all this other shit, and they kept it hush hush. But Tony and company were fucking pissed off about that. Fair. So they kept him off TV. And then apparently during that tag team match, the last tag team match that they had the half of Ricky's, like the right side, Ricky's right side kind of went numb. Like he got a little paralyzed or something like that, supposedly during the match. And that's why he rolled out of the ring. And that's why they did the injury angle or whatever, where he got off TV. So supposedly he's got some kind of weird shit going on. I don't know, bro. Again, this is something I read. This isn't something that I say is true, because it could be complete bullshit. He said it's bullshit, but you know how that goes. Like,
yeah, exactly.
What else would you say if you don't want that shit disclosed? Not saying that it's something that to be disclosed, because I don't know. I'm just saying what I read.
Yeah.
So you know, that shit happened, and then that's why they kind of pulled the plug on everything with Ricky, and that's why he hasn't been on TV. So I don't know. I don't know.
He's a weird one. That's just a weird one, because like here's the other thing. We all think he's leaving, but in a fucked up way. I wouldn't be shocked if he stayed either, though.
I'd like him to stay. I like Ricky Starks.
Yeah, same. I like him a lot.
He's one of those, like, you know, he didn't start with AEW. He came in a little bit later when Cody brought him in or whatever, but still, he's been there for fucking years. His face is synonymous. Yeah, he's synonymous with AEW. He's had great matches there, so yeah, I'd like to see him stay, but you got to do you do what's best for you, bro.
Yeah, and I don't know. So it's just crazy. We're at that time where it seems like a lot of people, when AEW started 5 years ago, people signed 5-year deals, and then 3-year deals from 2021. So like it's a cool time of year, or like the next year or two is going to be a lot of, well, will they go here? Will they go there? Kind of like I hate when people report people's contracts when they like someone reported last year, Jon Moxley's contract's coming to an end. What's he going to do? Like, of course, Jon Moxley's going to stay in AEW. It's kind of like with Drew McIntyre, like we were saying, like, of course he was going to stay.
Yeah.
You know, so I hate when those ones, but when you see the ones like Penta and Ricky and Nattie, like those are interesting to me, because it's like Ricochet. It's like, well, yeah, they very well could go somewhere else.
Right. And it is not only AEW. They could go
Impact.
Those people can go wherever they want. Like, yeah. They really could. So I just need Penta, please don't go. Okay, just please don't go, bro. I love Penta too much. Get rid of the freaking your assistant hype man shit, because you don't need that. But please stay.
Now, what's your take, switching it up, on these like media deals? Because like these I really don't pay attention to, if I'm being honest, until it's like announced. Just because I'm gonna watch regardless. Like I don't care what they signed and for how long. I know people were speculating because like the past 2 weeks, now we don't give a shit on this show because like perfect example. I thought this past week's Dynamite was a great episode. I thought it was fun. But like
and last week's.
Historically, it was one of their worst ratings. So like to me, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if 600,000 or 1 million watch. But people are speculating all that. Like, what's your take on this media stuff?
So, you know, there's rumors that total accident.
That's for the people that care about ratings.
Yeah, exactly. There's rumors supposedly that they're finalizing a deal with WB or Warner Brothers Discovery, the Max app, whatever it is. They're finalizing some deal with AEW for their content. And I pay attention to that stuff, but then again, I don't, because there's so much rumor out there, and bro, there's so much rumors, and everybody wants to be the first to like break this news. It's one of the bigger deals. So I kind of keep my ear to the streets just because I want them on Max. Like, I want that shit. I have HBO Max. That's like all the other apps. We've gone through this whole thing in this house with all the apps. The only ones that I've kept is Paramount Plus and Max. Other than that, I'm not paying for anything else, bro. Disney Plus, all that bullshit, Netflix, it's all gone. I'm not paying for any of that shit. Max is.
Are you going to get Netflix back when everything WWE goes on there?
I haven't figured that out yet, but most likely no. I'm going to have to figure something out for my wrestling, because I don't know what I'm going to do when it comes to that, because I really don't want to pay, bro. Netflix is fucking expensive, and I don't use it for anything else other than, like, I had it for years and never used it. I never watched anything on there.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'd open it up and I'd scroll and then nothing, and I'd fucking turn it off. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Honestly, I really don't. So we're going to have to figure that out when that happens. But I would love for them to be on this app. So again, I don't know. Supposedly they're in the final stages of it. They're figuring everything out. They're going to announce it soon. But supposedly, when I've heard that for a few months, that it could be any day now, and we're still waiting. Like, we're still waiting. But supposedly the deal's coming to an end soon. Like, the window where they're supposed to be able to do this is like closing. So that's why the news is saying that it's gonna happen soon. I need them on a streaming app, bro. If you could put them on a streaming app, I will be so happy. Especially if we're gonna get like pay-per-views included. Bro. If we could do like a Peacock deal where we get pay-per-views and we get the shows, I'm Gucci, bro. I'm so good.
I hope people are like, well, I hope they stay on TV. Like, no offense, fuck that. I hope everything's on Max.
Yeah.
Like, everything. It's because the thing is, it's a matter of time, too. But, if you told me every Wednesday and Saturday, like, oh, I can just turn on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Cool. Like, that. So much easier. Like, I'm all about that. But I hope they get a good deal, man. I hope they do. Like, whatever.
And that's literally the future, bro. This rating shit's about to be over. Once WWE goes to Netflix, none of these fucking cocksuckers are gonna care about ratings anymore. They're not gonna care.
It's all about the money. And what I mean by that is, like, look at NXT's going to the CW.
Yeah.
Like, you think that, like, and just like WWE could have stayed on Fox, but they went to USA because USA was going to pay more for SmackDown because they lost Raw. Like, that's why the ratings, I think they care about, but at the end of the day, they care about this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think, and that's why I think Tony Khan and them should go to thing. Because once you're on, I feel once AEW is on a streaming service, they're solid. Because no one will bitch about the ratings, but then they'll bitch about attendance, which.
They'll bitch about anything. They're going to bitch about anything, bro.
Yeah, which, like, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. Here's my take on the attendance thing, because I don't care, because at the end of the day, I'm not watching the other side of the camera. I guess that's more me feeling for the talent than like anything. Like, I don't be like, oh, AEW's in the mud because they only sell out like half the arena. Like, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, shit, I don't care. Like, I've always gave AEW props. Every show I've gone to, I've always paid a fair price, so I don't care. But it's like, I kind of wish the talent had a sold-out arena, even if it was a small arena, just so it's like sold out.
Yeah, and I think that's. I mean, it's kind of weird because you want to say it's inflation and it's a lot of shit going on, but those WWE shows are packed.
Dude, they just did 17,000 on Friday at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, they're fucking packed all the time.
Without being that guy, but like without like a Roman Reigns. Like, Cody's a draw, don't get me wrong, but just simply Cody.
Yeah. And can I just say, kind of before we move on, that goddamn angle on Friday. Oh my God. Now look, I haven't really been watching Raw or SmackDown. I watched a little bit and then I end up tuning out. This Bloodline thing hasn't really been doing anything for me. I really haven't cared too much about the new members and Solo, and I haven't really been paying attention. I'll be honest with you guys. I haven't really been watching it like that. I just recently restarted watching like Dynamite and Collision and shit like the past couple weeks. So, took a little wrestling break. But as far as the Bloodline stuff, haven't really been paying attention. But bro, this week on Friday, that angle, the way that shit played out, that's one of the best. That's one of the best things they've done in a long time.
Well,
like
the way
historical shit.
Did you see Jacob Fatu's debut? That was fucking dope too.
Yeah,
they made him look like a star instantly. And
yep.
So honestly, with the Bloodline stuff, obviously it wasn't as good as the other stuff, but the past like 3 weeks have been very, very good in my opinion. Like Jacob's debut, now this, like it's picking up again. But I'm with you for like a good month. I was like, I could give a shit. Like it was cool when Tama Tonga debuted because I like him. His brother, I could really give a shit about. It already kind of shows like where they view him. Like I think eventually them two will go off on a tag team thing, but like they kind of just had him there until they decided to debut Jacob. Jacob's got a cool entrance. I thought his entrance on Friday was really cool. Him and Tama are kind of two of the lucky ones when it comes to having like not terrible Def Rebel themes.
Right. Did you notice one thing I noticed about fucking Jey Uso? Jey Uso apparently was on SmackDown, and it's funny, like Jey Uso, the Wyatt Six came out, destroyed the whole fucking room and locker room, and this guy's in the ring dancing with the crowd, and now he goes to SmackDown. And Paul Heyman gets basically killed by the new Bloodline, and there's no sign of Jey Uso to be found. But again, I understand, he's like right now, he's like, that's not my business. But bro, when Roman comes back with the Usos, dog, that's gonna be one of those pops. That's like,
I think it's gonna.
Can you believe these people are chanting, "We want Roman"? Can you believe that shit?
I think it's gonna be Cody and Solo at SummerSlam. Because they're doing the 6-man tag or whatever at Money in the Bank. I think you're going to get that. And then I think Roman comes back at the end of SummerSlam. Like Cody wins. And they're either going to go one or two ways. I think Cody's going to win. Now, see, they already beat up Paul. So Roman's only coming back to confront Solo at this point.
Yeah.
So maybe Cody wins and they're going to beat the shit out of Cody post-match. And that's when Roman comes out. That's what I would say.
Because are they gonna put the fucking title on? So take the title off Cody and put it on Solo for Solo and Roman. Nah, they.
I don't think so. Nah,
Cody, they can't do that shit.
That's why I think Cody wins and the Bloodline starts beating the shit out of him post match.
Yeah, just to put the belt back on Roman, that would be crazy as fucking hell. But they can't do that shit.
No, I don't think so because they're gonna do a War Games match. The Bloodline, that seems very obvious. But what's your take on before we dive into the Shane stuff that's next? Because it's not. What do you think of the Wyatt Six?
It was cool. It was definitely the video that they did with Bo Dallas and Uncle Howdy. I thought that was very clever.
That was really
very cool. That was very, very cool. My thing with the Wyatt Six is like, what are you gonna do with them? Because like. This isn't, I hate to say this and I hate to be this guy, but like, this isn't like, it's not 1986, bro. Like somebody, who was it? Mark Henry got really upset on his radio show, Busted Open, because they were taking pictures with fans at a Denny's like the night after they debuted. Like they took a picture in just regular clothes, t-shirts and whatever, smiling with some fan at a Denny's in the middle of the night or whatever. And he's like, you guys you fucking up the business by doing this. And you just debuted and you're wearing these masks. And then you go take a picture with a random fan and post it online. It's like you're killing the business. And it's like, fam, it's not 1986 anymore, bro. Like, kayfabe's dead. Social media killed all that shit, bro. You're not going to be able to live that gimmick in real life, bro. Like, everybody knows.
Undertaker has a podcast now. That's the world.
Yeah, like, bro, everybody, it's wrestling, bro. They know the deal. But my thing is, like, what are you going to do with these guys? Because the thing with gimmicks like that, like, what killed the Fiend was putting the belt on the Fiend. Why the fuck did you need to put the title on the Fiend for? That shit was fucking stupid. There was no purpose in doing that. The Fiend, like, that's a character that, like, why would that character want a title? Like, it's some kind of killing machine. What the fuck does he want a championship for? Like, he should just be out there fucking people up. His purpose is to fuck people up. That's why he's there. Yeah. He doesn't need a belt. and that kind of killed it. So, what are you gonna do with all these guys?
This is really because I think everyone, right? Because so far they're 2 for 2. The debut was very cool, and the interview was very cool. But this is, and I think everyone's going to be giving it as much positive as they can because of Bray, like 100%, right?
Oh yeah,
and not just because of Bray. In my opinion, I hope it works out for the other talent. Like I think it's cool. Rowan's back. Dexter Loomis. This is how Joey Gacy's debuting.
I'm really happy for Joe Gacy. That Joe Gacy's come a long way from dancing with Osirian Portal and whatever that shit was. I forget what promotion that was many years ago.
So like I'm excited for them, but this is truly like where are they going to be in a year?
And again, I'm probably overthinking it. They're probably just going to use them for gimmick stuff and multi-man matches, and that's cool. And they can do the scary stuff. I'm sure that they can get away with it, but it's just long term. You see something like that, and like there's never going to be another Undertaker Kane run. No. Like nobody's going to do that ever again.
Like eventually, these guys got to get in the ring.
Yeah.
Do those masks come off? Like so, some people are speculating that they think each week is going to be like for the next few weeks is going to be like Uncle Howdy or their own character interviewing them.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool.
I think that would be kind of cool because one, that can drag it out for a few weeks too.
Yep.
And then because like right now, like all right, it makes sense why Bo Dallas and Uncle Howdy are the way they are, right? And but out of all of like Nikki Cross on Raw last week, I thought that was really really cool. Like with her sister Abigail, I believe she is coming out. It makes me think so. I only know more because I watched the show, but did you see the shit on Pat McAfee's show?
I saw they had something on there
twice, and then Raw was in Indy and they did it again this past Monday in Indy, and Raw was in Indianapolis. Triple H was on his show, but after the show, he didn't end up going to Raw. I don't know if you saw it because his father-in-law.
Yeah, his father passed away. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, but the box she gave to Michael Cole was addressed to Pat McAfee. So I wonder if they were supposed to attack Pat like at the end of the night, or if they just kept effing with him on like the internet so he could literally be the one to receive the box like he was. So I'm very curious what was actually supposed to happen.
Right.
But
interesting.
So what do we got next? We got Shane O'Mac. So Lou, you want a simple yes or no? We're going to dive into it more, but answer the question yes or no. Do you want to see Shane O'Mac in a ring or behind the scenes in AEW?
That's kind of hard to answer yes or no because those are two different things.
So in ring, yes or no?
No, absolutely not. In no way. In no way possible do I want to see him doing anything ring related. I don't want to see him hopping around. I don't want to see him throwing punches. I don't want to see him jumping off of shit. No. Now, behind the scenes, if they want to do some shit where, my pitch was that Tony does a, quote unquote, I'm selling Ring of Honor type shit, and Shane buys Ring of Honor, and then they could do a whole bunch of shit with that. Like they can do an invasion angle. They could do a cross promotion thing. They could do a whole bunch of shit with that, and they can play with that. That I wouldn't mind if he's gonna be like an on-screen character, blah 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 blah. But no, I don't need to see him in the ring, bro, at all.
So a guy I listened to his podcast. He was obviously being sarcastic, but he's like, I think Shane should do an invasion angle and get the WWE guys. So get like Adam Copeland, get Moxley, get Danielson to feud against the AEW originals, kind of going back. I would pop just because it would be funny, but like I don't think that would happen either.
Yeah, nah.
I don't know. Tony said he's open to conversations with Shane, and he's got.
Yeah, I mean, he literally said he's always welcome in AEW, and that's fine. If Shane wants to come with the business sense, because he's a good businessman, bro, and he probably has connections that Tony doesn't have. He can help him grow the business. I don't see any problem with that. But
Shane's McMahon at the end of the day. He's got way too big of influence and not want to be on TV.
And as far as I know, he's been pretty clean from this Me Too shit. Like nobody said Shane McMahon did this or that to me. Like, we haven't seen any of that shit about him. So I know the last name kind of has a stink on it, but he's not his father. So, you know, I think it's fine if he wants to bring him in and consult and do some stuff.
Someone said he should bring him in as a general manager.
You could do that too.
Like, behind the scenes, he has a real job, but like on
and he could just be like the GM of, you know.
It's just I can't see Shane. This is the thing.
Then we're gonna start seeing fucking camera cuts everywhere and fucking during matches now.
Like I said in the group text, it's gonna be a contest between him and Darby Allin to see who can jump off higher shit. No, but Tony is a mark, and I say that in a good way because we all are, right? So we've seen what he let Edge jump off the cage. I can't picture Shane walking up to him. Tony, I think we should book this angle where I'm in a match at All In, just as an example. And Tony saying no, though. I can't picture Tony saying no.
Yeah, that's one of those things that I think is a real problem in AEW is that Tony is not saying no enough to some things. I think he should be saying no a little bit more. Again, I'm not back there. I don't know what's going on, but some of the shit I see. Edge, Edge jumping off the top of the cage, it would have been fine if he was doing a splash or something. But the way he just fell on his legs, oh my God, he's so lucky.
Looking back I'm still surprised he just didn't do a splash because it seems like top rope people who aren't top rope people, their go-to is a splash because it's just the easiest to do. Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, it's quote unquote the safest thing you can do from up there for you and your opponent. Like, it's the safest thing to do. It's still gonna suck, but bro, I can't believe
an elbow drop just doesn't seem safe at all from that spot.
Yeah. I can't believe. I mean, for God's sakes, Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa, he gave him a fucking air raid crash.
Yeah, through a table
from the top of the cage. And that shit looked terrifying, but you know, they both protect themselves or whatever. This dude, I just can't believe he didn't snap both his fucking legs right there. I'm so glad that shit didn't happen.
So I don't know. I think now that
I'm all for him joining as long as he's not in the ring, bro.
He will be on AEW TV before the year ends. That's my prediction.
He might pop up tonight.
Yeah. They're in New York.
Yeah.
Like
that could be a tonight thing. Who knows?
I think they're doing I keep seeing the reports. I think they're doing Grand Slam and Arthur Ashe. Tony's a smart guy in regards to I'm going to debut him where I know is best, like Mercedes in Boston. If you're going to debut Shane McMahon, Long Island tonight or Arthur Ashe for Grand Slam, New York, WWE headquarters, essentially. I get it, it's Connecticut, but you know what I mean?
Right.
But I
That'll
guess.
Be fucking.
So speaking of WWE, I'm going to read this quote that Triple H said on the Pat McAfee show. I say this a lot. We're not a sport or a movie about a sport or a TV show about a sport. The interests of all the other things happening are just as great as what happens in the ring. People are so interested in not only those storylines, but who are the real people behind those storylines, the drama behind it. If you're younger or want to buy into it that much, the drama of the storylines. So, obviously we know WWE, yes, it's wrestling. We obviously know it's more, sports entertainment than wrestling, even though now they use the word wrestling more and the wrestling has changed a little bit. But, I get what he's saying. Do you get what he's saying or?
I guess so. I mean, he's basically trying to sell the fact that it's more. And this is where a lot of times I get into arguments with people who so not a few months ago, this was a while ago. Let's say a few months ago, there was a thing that came out on Twitter, and it was like, who are your top 5 sports entertainers? And one of my friends sent me, they sent me that in a text, and they sent me their top 5. And I go, well, Is it sports entertainers or is it wrestlers? Because to me, those are two different things. Like a sports entertainer is, they do wrestle, but it's more about like selling the drama of WWE and what it is that they do, like their style. Like a wrestler to me is like
Bryan
Danielson or, Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig, wrestlers. Bret Hart is a wrestler. He's not a fucking sports entertainer. So to me, it's a difference. So I think what he's trying to get across is like, we're in the business of telling the stories now. Like, it's not about having, I think low key, he's trying to shit on the whole, we're the best wrestle 5-star matches mentality that a lot of wrestling fans have. He's trying to say, look, we're like more like a big movie about wrestling instead of actually being a wrestling company. I think that's what he was trying to get across with that. At least that's how I take it. And that's fine. If that's the identity that they want to have, that's fine. I still love it. It's still fun to watch.
Yeah. Like
you know what I mean? I'm still there. So
I say it all the time. And I hate how other people like shit on it or can't do it. When I have when I watch wrestling, I just watch wrestling. Like I don't to dive into it too much. But I know when I'm watching WWE, I'm going to see something different than I'm going to on AEW, and I think that's fine. But that's where people start like beefing heads over, right? It's because it's like, all right, you put on AEW tonight. We're going to see a lot of amazing matches. We are going to. But tomorrow on Raw, we have this Chad Gable Otis storyline, which I think is going very well. I'm liking this whole Liv Morgan thing with the Judgment Day. Like, I think that's good. The CM Punk Drew McIntyre, I personally think is the best storyline in all of wrestling right now, and they haven't touched. But it's like, I know that. Like, I know tonight I'm not going to expect a 5-star storyline. I'm just not.
Right.
That's fine. Like, that's the thing. Like, I think what it is people aren't okay with accepting that. And it's like, and I guess that's what bothers me, why people are so hateful on, like, say, the other company. It's like, yo, if you just, like, it's as simple as this. I like AEW more because I prefer in-ring wrestling versus storytelling. Cool, that's why you liked it. You know what I mean? My thing, too, I don't like, and I know a lot of people who do this. I've seen it. I've had to refresh my TikTok thing because I kept getting things. I just hate when people never give credit to the other company or just shit on everything they do. That's my thing that I don't like. And I think that's something you and I are both pretty good at.
Yeah, I have my my brother who
WWE.
It's been a few years he's gotten back into wrestling, but really he's just gotten back into WWE. This is where sometimes we like butt heads because I feel like whenever he sends me something about AEW, it's like, haha, look what's happening in AEW. And that's like, why can't you ever send me like, yo, I heard that Danielson Penta match last night was fucking awesome. What did you think? Like, it's never like I heard this was really cool. I'm not going to watch it, but still I heard it was cool. I know this is something you like. What did you think? It's always like, I always get like a sarcastic, like, and it's like, I have to like, I don't want to start a fight. So I have to be like, I just reply LOL. Because to me, it's funny that you always send me something with a tinge of negativity towards it. It's never like anything like you're generally interested. And it's like, that's the mentality of most of these people who are like, they pick their flag and that's it. Like they pick their side and I'm WWE and everything else is stupid. I don't give a fuck about anything else. But then like your favorite person is Cody Rhodes in WWE. And it's like, okay, well, Cody Rhodes is literally in costume, character, appearance, entrance, theme song, the exact same fucking person that he was in AEW, like literally exactly the same. Now he's in WWE and all of a sudden you love him, but when he was in AEW, you couldn't give a fuck because there's 3 letters are not the 3 letters you're used to. And then like, to me, I get annoyed by that because it just doesn't make sense to me. Like if you like wrestling, That doesn't mean you have to watch everything. God knows we on this show complain about how much fucking wrestling there is. We're not gonna sit here and watch it all.
Yeah.
But I know it exists and I appreciate it. And I kind of keep my toes dipped in all of it because there's talent coming from everywhere. And there's certain talent like Michael Oku, who I would love to see on a regular basis on the show that I watch. But it's because he's not in my company. I'm not going to be like, it's that fucking shit. I don't know what that shit is. I don't care.
You know what
like
I do?
That's the shit I don't get.
You know what I do for fun? I've done it a couple of times. So there's these two accounts on Twitter. I forget the names, but one of them's like super AEW and the other super WWE. And it's just so funny to go on their pages and just see their bias to each. And it's like, to me, it's hysterical. Like during WrestleMania on Saturday, the dude tweeted, "Thank God it's Saturday. Real wrestling's on," and like tweeted the Collision photo. And it's like, dude, it's like WrestleMania tonight. And it's just, to me, those are hysterical. Like what I hate is when shows are in the same weekend or very close to each other. Like I think it was, the King of the Ring, the Saudi show, and then the next day was thing. And like 2 minutes in to King of the Ring, they're saying this is better than Double or Nothing, which physically didn't happen yet. And then 2 minutes into Double or Nothing, they're like, "Oh, this is better than King and Queen of the Ring." And it's like, bro, just watch the goddamn show.
Just watch it. Like, what do you like? I don't understand, bro. Why does any one thing have to be? That's what I don't get. Like, why does one thing have to be better than the other? They're both so different. Like,
yes,
they're just so different, both of them. Look at this match that they had last night on was it last night? Today's Sunday, right? Saturday. Yeah. Look at this match that they had on I don't think it was Collision, it was Rampage, actually. Sorry. They had a fucking Orange Cassidy versus the Outrunners in a handicap match. And I'm watching this match and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, why is Orange Cassidy in a handicap match against these two guys who are huge? They're huge.
Yeah.
Like, they're big fucking muscle guys. And I'm like, you got Orange Cassidy's skinny ass going up against these two muscle-bound dudes. They should be, like, in reality, they should be kicking this guy's fucking ass.
Yeah.
And Orange Cassidy ends up winning the match with his orange punch. He orange punches one guy. The guy goes flying out the ring. He orange punches the other guy. 1, 2, 3. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, wow, bro, way to bury this fucking tag team. Like, these guys, these two big muscle guys, they just lost to skinny ass Orange Cassidy. But then I go online and like the people who love Orange Cassidy are like, that was the greatest fucking match ever. The Outriders are great because they're supposedly a comedy tag team. So it was like okay for that match to happen. But in my mind, I was like, no, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, but just to see the people going back and forth and fighting, like, and again, I didn't enjoy that match, but I enjoyed the rest of the show. And I still enjoyed it, and that's fine. Like, you don't have to love everything they. And I think that's why this show we do like a good job. Like, whatever needs criticizing gets criticized. Whatever needs praise gets praised. Whether it's here, it's in WWE, GCW, and New Japan, whatever. But that doesn't mean that this is better than this. I don't think we've ever said like,
never.
This is better than that. It's just like we find the stuff that we like, we focus on that, and that's it. It's all wrestling. Hello.
Yep.
It's the fucking one of the mottos of the show. You just enjoy wrestling, bro. That's it. Stop fighting over his dumb shit. It don't make no sense.
Now, before we dive into the Forbidden Door card, just our thoughts on it or whatever. It says here you have a question for me.
Yes. So this is something I was thinking about last week, and it's going to be like a little bit of a loaded question, but I just wanted to ask you who you think, what your answer is. I'm going to take the question and think about it for a second and then give me your answer. So I was actually doing laundry and I was thinking about wrestling for some reason. I think I had just watched, I had just caught up with Dynamite. I was watching it late and I was doing laundry and I was just thinking about wrestling in general. And I started thinking to myself, who is the best wrestler ever? And when I say that, I mean, this is where I was thinking about it, because when I say that, I mean technical ability, promo, sports entertainment character, storylines, longevity. Because remember, I said a few months ago I had gotten that meme from a friend of mine, and they sports entertainers and wrestlers, and I was like, well, it's different. But for me,
you're combining everything in this.
Everything together. Who is the greatest, the best? Who's the number one? Like, out of all those things, like, everything matters. Like, Billboard, freaking fandom, just everything together that you can kind of think of. Who would you say is like the best wrestler ever? I have it in mind, and I was surprised at how easily I came up with the name, but I just wanted to ask the question, because I think we've talked about stuff like this before, but we've never actually said who we think is the best.
So when I think, we're going to take like fame out of this, right? Because if you want to say who's like the best wrestler with sports entertainer fame, Billboard, like you could say like The Rock or Stone Cold. But like, so the way I'm going to answer this, and tell me if I'm wrong, I'm thinking who is the best pro wrestler that's great at everything else surrounding in-ring. And instantly, I want to say either Bryan Danielson or AJ Styles.
Wow. Okay. I wasn't expecting either of those names.
Well, because you got to think, like, I'm the first to say I still think to this day AJ Styles is the best professional wrestler on the planet.
Okay.
Like, when he can go. But he's so good at like the sports entertainer side of things, and he's been around for 20 something years, and everywhere he's been a massive name and a world champion. And that's how I feel. I guess let me hear what you say, and then maybe I have to rethink based off kind of what you say.
So for me, the greatest wrestler ever, Ric Flair. It's Ric Flair.
Yeah, that makes sense too, because he's the world champion. He's in rap songs. He's got clothes. He's been
it's Ric Flair.
Yeah,
I mean, wrestling ability, promo, fame, marquee matches, like sports entertainer, like longevity.
No, you're
I was just thinking, it's so many names, bro. Like Hogan, Randy Savage and Sting and like Bruno Sammartino and all these people, The Rock, like
Taker.
Remember, we've talked about this before with The Rock. He hasn't had that long a career, bro.
No, he was active. I think he was only active from like 96 to 02.
Yeah, like his career is, you think about it, and it's like it wasn't that long.
Stone Cold Steve Austin wasn't around. Like, he was around for a while with other names, but no shit. Stone Cold Steve Austin was not around a long time.
The ring master.
Yeah, the ring master and the ring general. Well, that's cool. But do you see why I said what I said, though, in a way?
Yeah. No, of course. And that's taking nothing away from Bryan Danielson or AJ Styles. But yeah, it was just funny. It's like a question. I was thinking about it, and then I thought about my answer, and then I was like, damn, have we ever really like tried to say who is the actual best out of all those categories? And
I guess it's good to say him, because when you hear all these old timers like Taker, Stone Cold, Rock, they all have Flair on their Mount Rushmore. Like, the consistency is Flair. Yeah. And it's like, not to be that guy, because we all have our own different opinions, but if The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, and Undertaker, I think even Jericho has said it, that Ric Flair's on the Mount Rushmore. Like, how do you argue with people who are on other people's Mount Rushmores?
Yeah, I just think, man, Ric Flair in his prime, man, as a performer, so just storytelling in the ring, man, he's just... Let me ask you,
during the prime, during the Attitude Era, were you a Rock or a Stone Cold guy?
Man, I love both of them, man. I don't really pick one over the other.
At those 2 or 3 WrestleMania main events, who were you ultimately going for?
Damn, I honestly, probably The Rock, just because he's from here. our skin tones were the same.
I'm more of a Rock guy than Stone Cold too. I love Stone Cold, but I will always put Rock over Stone Cold.
Yeah, to me, and again, love Stone Cold, love that whole time and all that shit. And honestly, during all that, I was more of a WCW guy. But yeah, I think for sure The Rock. He's just, bro, that motherfucker, he's just funny, man. When you can put comedy in and still be like a badass, like that shit, there's no like, you could be a Billy Badass all you want, man. But when The Rock was cutting all those promos back there, when he kicked Jonathan Coachman in the ass, when he was doing the Charleston, like
dance, coach, dance,
turn this way, turn that way,
get out of the Rock,
monkey ass out of my fucking, kicked him right in the ass. Now, I mean, you can't top that, man.
I got one more hard-hitting question I feel for you before we go into the card. So we just saw The Rock's run from January to April. Final boss, and we've argued some of his best shit, and that was on both shows, but whatever, right? In 2024, because we were speculating seeing Stone Cold in that match, right? And now we just saw Stone Cold in the ring with Kevin Owens 2 years before this in a fight, but in 2024, we saw what The Rock did. Say Stone Cold was gonna feud. I'm gonna speak WWE here. Was feuding with Punk. Because that's who everyone thinks would be his best rival now, or even a Kevin Owens, a long rival. In 2024, we saw what The Rock did. If, say, we had from January to April, don't even count the match, just the build to the match. You think Stone Cold, say, could have done a better build with a match with a CM Punk or Kevin Owens than The Rock did with this whole final boss shit? Now, I know it might be hard because it was a tag match and Roman was involved, but do you think, like in 2024, Stone Cold could have did what The Rock did? Say that wasn't a thing.
I don't think so. I don't think so. And I think for the fact that I don't think Stone Cold is willing to have that tremboloni sandwich before he goes out there and hits the weights like The Rock is. The Rock is just physically in, I'm honestly the best shape he's ever been in. So, and plus he was involved in that. It was. That's why it's hard. Yeah, he just got inserted right into the hottest program that's going in wrestling. Like, so, you know what I mean? Stone Cold would have to like build something from the ground up with whoever he's going to do something with. And I don't know, bro, with all this cat dad shit that he's doing online, I really don't think,
I think we're done seeing Stone Cold.
Yeah, I don't see it. I think I think in his mind, he knows that send off that he got at the WrestleMania was like, it couldn't have been better, bro. Like, it couldn't have been better. He had that freaking KO show segment that turned into a match, and then the next night he came out. Like, it can't get better than that. Like, he doesn't want to risk. I don't think he'd want to risk coming back and then having a half-ass performance.
I'm excited. I'll admit, and I usually don't get excited for documentaries. I'm excited for Wednesday for that Beyond the Scenes WrestleMania documentary drops on YouTube.
Yeah, they finally put it out. That'd be great.
Dude, it looks like they really are going behind the scenes with all this shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. That's the shit.
I'm definitely gonna watch that after Dynamite on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite shit is seeing like the
inner
YouTube. Workings.
And it's on YouTube.
Yeah. Cool. Show me the inner workings of like what's going on back there. That's the shit that I want to see.
And the WWE Mad Petty, they dropping that shit on Wednesday at 7 Eastern.
Yeah.
Granted, it's not during Dynamite, but you got to think the documentary is at least an hour and a half.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes, dude, I still look back and think like, damn, The Rock fucking killed it in 2024.
Bro, and I think about that whole thing that he did with Cody in the rain outside, just beating the shit out of him for a good 25 minutes. And that's some of the best shit that WWE's ever done.
People are saying that's going to go down as a top 10 Raw moment of all time, like Monday night.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course. Big time.
Which is crazy.
Hell yeah.
Like crazy.
I mean, there was a lot of people were like, there was a lot of scuttlebutt online with the Drew McIntyre CM Punk thing that they didn't actually show like the beatdown. But I think that was for two reasons. Number one, I don't think CM Punk wanted to take an ass kicking for 10 minutes like that on camera. Because he's probably still like nursing an injury. And number two, I don't think they wanted to do a carbon copy of what they just did with The Rock.
In the same city. I mean? They were literally in Chicago when that.
Yeah, I don't think they wanted to do
where
that.
They go with this Drew and Punk shit, because we all thought Drew was going to win. And I thought the way they did the Punk match with the interference was cool. But now you got Gunther at SummerSlam. I think because WWE did the dumb thing. If Seth wins, Damian Priest has to leave the Judgment Day. But if he loses, he can't challenge for the title. Yeah. So Seth's going to win because they've already showed the Judgment Day. So you're going to get Seth and Gunther at but Drew is fighting for a Money in the Bank qualifying match tomorrow, which that's going to slap him, Sheamus, and Eli Dragunov.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So you got to think Drew, because Drew took the bracelet wherever. So you got to think Punk's going to cost Drew the briefcase. Like that's going to happen in the ladder match. And then they fight at SummerSlam. And then they're having – did you hear they're in like October, they're going to bring back the Bad Blood pay-per-view and have a Hell in a Cell match, which will probably be Drew and Punk.
Oh, wow.
I think
why don't these two guys just fucking make out already, bro? Like, two men don't fucking have this much fucking emotion towards each other unless there's like love in there somewhere, bro.
Well, the thing I like most about it, as cool as it's all been, they're not doing the title, which is good.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming Seth's gonna. But so, do you think Gunther might beat Seth?
I'm trying to not think with like my booking hat on because I'm really trying not to do that because it kind of ruins things for you when you kind of think about shit like that because you're like.
Because Seth's gonna win for one of two reasons, realistically. It looks better for Gunther to lose to Seth than Damian. Or Gunther beating Seth is a way bigger deal than Gunther beating Priest.
I mean, it's a bigger match.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins versus Gunther is the bigger match. You know what I mean?
I'm going in with the mentality Gunther loses, to be honest. As much as I think it'd be dope for him to get a world title run, even if it's only for like 4 months. But then it makes you think they have that bash at the Berlin show like later this year. So it's like Gunther being world champ for that would be dope too.
Yeah.
I don't know, but whatever. We got a show tonight, though, that I'm very excited for. I was thinking about this long and hard. Pause. Could you say, even though they've only had 2, that Forbidden Door has been AEW's like most consistent pay-per-views? Like they've been 2, and they've both been up for pay-per-view of the year on this show.
Yeah, Forbidden Door 1. Forbidden Door 1 was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. And I think we said that was the show of the year.
Yeah. It was up there. It was like tied. I think it was tied with
Clash of the Castle, maybe. The first one.
It was up there, yeah.
But and then last year it was great too.
Fucking awesome. It was fantastic. You know what I noticed too? I was flipping through the Triller app with the VPN, and I was looking at the pay-per-views. You know, all those pay-per-views are there for $9 to buy. Like I was gonna buy Forbidden Door 2, or is this 3, right? So I was gonna buy 2 just to rewatch it, bro. It's $9.99.
And you keep it like
and it's yours forever. Like all the old pay-per-views are there for $9.99. There's a couple that are free, like All Out or All In is free with their AEW Plus or whatever subscription. Yeah. But
I kind of want to buy.
There for $10, bro.
I want to buy the first Double or Nothing, like where Cody.
All there, and you can just buy them and watch them forever. It's fucking awesome, dude. And I'm gonna end up buying definitely Forbidden Door 1 because I want to rewatch that for sure. But they're all there to buy, dude. It's awesome. And yeah, Forbidden Door's been one of their best. Like the idea, I was like, when it first was announced, I was like, I don't really care, you know. It's cool that they're doing a show in New Japan, but I really don't think this is going to be a big deal. And then the pay-per-view ended up being like amazing. And then when you look at this card, it's like there's only one card on this show that like I don't give a shit about. And I think you know what match that is.
I bet you it's Chris Jericho.
It has something to do with the Chris Jericho. Yeah.
Hi, guys. And that's on the main show.
Hey guys,
that's not.
Isn't that annoying? Isn't that annoying? You're trying to talk. Hey guys, bye guys, thanks guys.
But that's on the main show, right?
Yeah, they put that shit. They announced it yesterday, and they put it on the main fucking card.
You know, the only thing I like Jericho does with this character is when he records like selfie videos on Twitter. He hits record, but waits like 5 seconds, and it's just like him looking at the camera, and he's like, "Hey guys, it's Chris." Like that, I'll admit, always gets a pop at me. But what match are you most looking forward to? Mine might shock you.
Oh my god, the main event, bro. Are you kidding me?
Dude, no. See, I'm amped for Orange Cassidy and Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah, that's gonna be the shit. I mean, that match is gonna be great. Listen, there's Mox and Naito is gonna be fucking really hard hitting. The main event is just it is what it is. You don't even need to talk about that main event.
Tony and Mina.
I'm actually really into Mercedes and Stephanie Vacour.
Yes.
And even that TNT ladder match is going to be fucking awesome. Like Danielson and fucking Shingo took. Come on, man. This card is like, it's on par to be one of the best shows of the year. And it's like, I've got excitement for all of these matches. The only thing I will say is that I don't get why Saraya and Mariah May is on the pre-show, but again, I think the pre-show they're like, the thing with the pre-shows is like, it's not like those aren't garbage matches, and like they've never really been. They're always like very good fun matches, but they just don't fit, I guess, on the main show.
Yeah.
So they put them on the pre-show, which is cool, but I think that match, especially with the storyline and everything going on, like they probably could have put it on the show. But then again, if they did, I'd probably be complaining that it could have been on the pre-show to make the show a little shorter.
Oh, well, so here's the thing. Everyone forgets. The shows are always longer when they're on the West Coast.
Yeah.
This is on the East Coast, and it's starting at 8. So it's going to go to midnight, probably.
It's going to midnight, bro. I'm going to be up till midnight, and I got to get up at fucking 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it's going to go till... I gave up on the scrums. Unless there's something I need to watch, I'll watch. Right. And what I've been doing, because I truly believe there is too much wrestling. Like there is. Like I went to WrestleMania live, and eventually it was just too much. Like don't get me wrong, I had a fucking blast, right? But so I won't watch the 0 hour until like you pretty much tell me, or someone's like, "Yo, that match was really good." Then I'll go back and watch it like tomorrow or something. But I'm just gonna start at 8 and go with it from there. But
yeah, I'm a sucker. I like watching. I watch the 0 hours. I do the whole thing.
On as like background shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. While I'm like dinner or whatever. But
the matches that they have on here, I mean, Willow Nightingale and hold on, I can't. Willow Nightingale and Tam Nakano, Chris Statlander, Momo Watanabe.
Can I cut you off for 1 second? Did Willow and Chris get that one-on-one match and I just missed it?
They haven't had it yet. I think they're continuing to tease it.
I missed something.
Yeah, then you got the Engor Bernales versus Mystico and the Lucha Brothers, and then obviously Mariah May and Saraya. I think there's another pre-show match that they added, but
I have to take that back. I have to watch Mariah May. I'm like one of her biggest fans.
Well, I mean, she should be the main event there with Saraya, but bro, I don't know what order this show is going to be in, but man, what a card.
What about the way Ospreay laid out Swerve the other night?
That showed me last night that Swerve is retaining tonight, and he should retain.
Yes, 100%.
He should retain tonight. He should win cleanly. No horse shit. No fucking. Maybe there could be a slight distraction or something, but I don't want to see like a turn. Whatever. Maybe that's the way they tell the story at Wembley. Swerve becomes a heel, and Ospreay's your super baby face, and then you do the rematch at Wembley, and that's where Ospreay gets the title win as the baby face versus the heel. Maybe they're going to set something like that up, and I'm okay with that. But Swerve cannot lose the belt tonight. Like, it's just...
No way.
It's fine. Let Ospreay take his first L. It's okay. He's not going to die because he fucking takes an L.
To the world champ.
Yeah, and you have Swerve win, retain, and they can continue the feud. They can add MJF to the thing with what happened last week or this week on Dynamite, there's a bunch of stuff that they can do. But I don't think that putting the belt on Ospreay right now is, even though, did you hear that pop last night when he held that fucking belt up? Oh my God. Those people were losing their fucking mind when he was holding that belt up. But
I'm excited for this show, man. I'm definitely excited for this show. Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
I can't wait to see that match, bro.
It starts in 3 hours.
Yes, sir.
So the pre-show, is the pre-show an hour or 2 hours?
It's at 7. It starts at 7. They have
we got 2 hours till showtime.
Yeah, they got Renee Paquette and everybody talking about the show, and then they'll play their matches. One thing I don't get about this I don't understand why the Acclaimed.
Yeah.
Why is they've built it up. I'm not complaining about the match itself because they've built it up fine. It's okay. But why is Tanahashi involved in this instead of Billy Gunn, who's usually their trio partner? Like, they didn't really explain why he's not wrestling in the match.
I think booking-wise, the New Japan standpoint, him and Okada kind of thing. Like, you got one New Japan guy, you technically have another New Japan guy. And
yeah,
Okada.
But they didn't explain why not Billy Gunn. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only thing I really don't get about it. Man, they could have done like an injury angle. They could have taken Billy out, did an angle where they fucking take him out or whatever, and it would have added more to the match, and then they could have went and got Tanahashi to help them out. You know what I'm saying?
All I want to say is, if anyone, because this show's going to bang, and if I'm on Twitter later and I see anyone bitch, I'm just going to be like, what did you just say?
You can't listen, bro. There's people who like, I don't know, bro. There's people who say they like wrestling, but I don't think they understand even what that means. Like,
and to that we say,
no yields.
You know what's funny about that clip? I love that clip, but the lead up to before he does that is so fucking funny. Like, without the context of the beginning part of that, the clip itself, I mean, if you know, but like when he comes out, he's all happy, he's saying yeet, and then the phone rings and Roman tells him, like, fucking enough with that yeet shit, and then he just changes his expression to that. This shit is hilarious, bro.
It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame their match absolutely sucked.
I mean, it wasn't great, I think people are being a little harder on that match than they should be.
They did get time cut.
It wasn't, it just, I don't know.
Do you think it was more of a, we had higher expectations because we've kind of wanted to see the match?
I don't think I think they relied too much on what happened instead of giving us more of a reason why they're having the match. Like, you know what I mean? Because to me, the match, and again, I could be wrong because I haven't been watching like hardcore like that. But that match just like, yeah, he cost Jay the title or whatever. I just didn't feel like they built it up enough where there was a big enough reason for them to want to like fight like that. Because it just didn't do it for me. And it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
So what surprises tonight? You think there anything? Do you think we see Jack? Do you think we see Nattie? Do you think we maybe even see just a return of an AEW star?
We could see Hangman tonight, maybe. I would assume. Now, this is the reason why I was wondering about the Mariah May match being on the main card, because who better to insert into the fucking Owen Hart women's tournament than Nattie? Like, who better? You know what I'm saying? So
if she's in it, she has to win it, right? Like,
that's another thing too. Like, if you insert her in that shit, she's got to win it. Like, but unfortunately, there's no surprise women entrant. There's only one on the men's side, so the mystery for that's kind of like taken away. But dude, that would have been fantastic.
What if she came out? So I say, if you're gonna now, obviously, she might even be on a WWE contract right now. Like, we have no clue. She either has to be in that tournament, or it'd be pretty dope if Mercedes won both titles tonight and then she came out after that.
That'd be cool. I'd be down for that. But I definitely think we're going to see Ricochet tonight. I think we're going to see Ricochet on the show tonight.
Is it really? I thought his contract wasn't actually up to like the end of July.
Is it? I thought he was done.
Let me try to do a quick Google search.
He might not, because he's not under he didn't get released, so he doesn't have any non-compete bullshit. His contract, if it's up, it's up. He can go wherever he wants. Same with Dijak.
Yeah, so Dijak can, because he literally said it. But someone, give me one
Yeah, we might
second.
see Dijak tonight.
That would be shocking. On there was somewhere that said like where his thing. Oh, 5 hours ago, Ricochet shares new message amid WWE speculation. Hold on. Did Ricochet tweet something?
Uh-oh.
Ricochet has now taken to Instagram and Twitter to show a video of himself training with a punching bag. On Instagram, he captioned the post, "It's been a minute, so I had to get back to it. There's a lot to work on."
I wonder if he's free or not. That'll be interesting to see. Oh my god,
dude! There was a report
that
said, like when it was speculated his contract.
Goddamn, Mercedes is just good.
Oh,
Lord.
so it was revealed. Hold on.
That woman is fine, bro.
Yes.
God damn. I'm scrolling through Twitter and there's a picture of her sitting on a couch, and it's just
sometime around July, and today's the last month of June, so he could be.
Maybe. Okay. See, and that's the kind of shit that I like, when there's vague news out there.
Like, and this is what I was just gonna say. I would be more shocked if we saw him tonight than Dijak, who just
hell yeah, of course.
But it's because he said those reports.
Yeah. So. And that's the shit that's like, it's like, why? It's annoying, bro. You don't gotta like tease that shit. Don't worry about teasing it. Just fall back. Because the thing is, for me, when you tease stuff like that, you're like, no one's calling you. So you're trying to, like, you know what I mean?
And you just ended your contract 23 hours ago.
Plus, where would they insert Dijak?
You can always find
into this thing. You know what I mean?
Maybe he joins the learning tree.
Oh, could be.
Hey guys.
Yeah, great.
So, but
could be. Wouldn't shock me.
You got anything you want to add, or you want to take this thing home and get ready for the show? Because it's soon.
Well, man, listen. Real quick, I'm taking Danielson.
Oh shit, yeah.
I'm taking in the TNT Championship ladder match, the new TNT champion. I'm going to take Jack Perry.
Sorry, I'm taking Danielson. All right, sorry. Where are we at?
Yeah, that's kind of an obvious one, but I'm just scrolling up through the note. So the TNT Championship ladder match.
Yeah.
I want Takeshita to win, but I'm going to go with Jack Perry just because this whole angle that they got going on.
Yeah, I go Jack Perry.
And I'm going to go ahead and go with the learning tree for the trios match.
I'll take Samoa Joe and them just to be different.
Nice.
Mercedes.
Obviously, we're going to see Mercedes 2 belts tonight. That's going to, just because they did the title for title thing. If it wasn't title for title, you know, I would still go for Mercedes because you're not going to beat her right now. But she's going to be Mercedes 2 belts. The Elite, obviously, they're going to win their match. They're not losing their trios titles to the Acclaimed and fucking Tanahashi. Tony Khan seems to have a real great big fucking boner for Orange Cassidy, so I don't think Zack Sabre Jr. is going to win tonight.
Same.
Tony Storm's going to retain. Jon Moxley's going to retain.
And Swerve.
And Swerve is going to retain.
Yeah, the show, it's funny.
Predictable.
Yes, but Dan's, and I had this debate with Dan, if you remember, but predictable is fine.
Yeah.
So I think it's a predictable show, but it'll be good. But I think shows like this, so any crossover show is always going to be predictable, though.
And then again, you never know what's going to happen. Maybe they put the fucking New Japan, maybe they put the belt back on Naito and he takes it back to fucking New Japan. Because
actually, you know what? No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's going to happen.
So we'll see, because you never know with what's his name might show up and get involved. Ren Narita, because I don't know if they've had that match yet. Because I know Ren Narita attacked him when he won the belt.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to have a match. I don't know if they had it yet because I haven't been paying attention to New Japan. But he could get involved in that, cost them the title, and then they can still have a blood match. You know, they can bleed all over each other and tickle each other and make out or whatever the fuck it is that they like to do over there in New Japan. But yeah, you know, Naito could get the belt back. It could happen. So it wouldn't shock me.
No.
But if Will Ospreay wins tonight, bro,
I don't like that.
I mean,
I won't like that.
Fucking shocked. I will be completely and utterly shocked if he wins the belt tonight. Like completely. So we'll see. I don't think it's Swerve's time yet, and it shouldn't be. He should take it all the way to Wembley. He really should. Yeah.
Damn right.
He really should, bro.
You know me, I'm like one of Swerve's biggest fans, so he better fucking win.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, what plugs you got?
What plugs I got, bro? Wrestling is Trash on YouTube. You guys stay tuned, keep tuning in, keep downloading, keep watching the show. Slowly but surely we will get back to form and be back to our regularly scheduled programming. But for now, it's still summertime. We're still on a per diem basis. So you know what I mean? But as far as that goes, man, Wrestling is Trash on Instagram. Go on there, make sure you stay tuned. I'll be posting some pictures on there soon. I got plenty of pictures of Jada Parker and Mariah May on my phone that I've been meaning to upload, and they're just sitting on my phone like a real creep. So I gotta upload them so that I can delete them. But just keep staying tuned down there. You know what I'm saying? Keep following. We appreciate you guys. We thank you so much. But that's all I got, man.
Yeah, follow me, Nick Anicelli, on the old Twitter and Instagram, but most importantly, the show on YouTube, Wrestling is Trash. Like, comment, share, subscribe, give us your thoughts, give us everything. And for those of you who are somehow going to watch this, if you physically can watch this in time before the show, or let us know what you thought of our picks. I know we kind of went through them quick, but wanted to try to get this out there as soon as possible for the show. Thank you to everyone for watching as always. And as always, enjoy the wrestling.